Good morning. Yeah, so I know I said that I wanted to start actually doing this series weekly and all that and yada yada. The past several weeks I have been very busy. And because I've been very busy, I've just not really had the time to record this series. I only barely managed to get episodes out for Fall of the Republic, and, well, I think anyone watching this can probably understand why I'm sort of prioritizing that series. What with the fact that it gets some actual views. But, on the bright side, I have had time this week to do a bit of grindy stuff. I've pulled a lot of the dirt back and gotten some more of these walls sort of lined out. And I've also been thinking about this hill thing over here. All this back here. Basically, what I think is going to be interesting is to have a watchtower, or some kind of similar sort of structure, literally right here. So this will all be built up to this level. It's the same as that level, as you can see. And I think it kind of makes sense from a, like, first it's too hot, then it's too cold, then it's too hot. But I think it makes sense from a, like, if this is the area for, like, outdoors industry, I think it makes sense that, like, because that is the direction of the mountains, and if people are going to be working out here, maybe having a tower there and a bit of a just simple wall. We might use the mud bricks. I've had them placed out, started working with them a little more, and I think they kind of fit the area. So maybe we'll do something like that, just kind of up here as a sort of, well, the tower here and probably a tower up there would be to basically watch the air space that direction. Keep an eye on things, and then if/when a dragon comes to try and attack things, well, this area is a little bit more sheltered, rather than it just being wide open to that direction. But from a more, I don't know, I guess you could say design perspective, I think it adds interest to have this like, it's not being just exclusively, you know, one step up, then one step up, then one step up, then one step up. This area over here will be, you know, a much more significant jump upward. I think that'll make things a little more interesting out here than they otherwise would have been. I've pulled all of the dirt back. I have left the bedrock just because I kind of think it looks interesting. Kind of wanted to show anyone watching this. I don't know. I guess this is just what it looks like after you've pulled all of the dirt back. Certainly, most of this is all going to have to go. Because, again, that we can maybe make a feature. Maybe the bloomeries can go there. We can have a couple of them. Kind of, I don't know, indicate something. But almost all of this is going to have to go because there's just too much. And, like, this is definitely going to have to go because, yeah. But I had just recently had the idea to actually put torches up. Because it'll melt the snow, and then we'll actually be able to see a little bit better what's going on. Plus, you know, a little bit of light definitely be welcome, at least in the areas where we're going to be more often. Keep the mob counts down, hopefully. I've also been experimenting with, well, basically what the farm, like actual agricultural land is going to look like. I wanted to use these as a sort of lore tie-in to the Roots magic system. Plus they look cool. Plus, it means we can hide water. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, it lets us hide water under there. And funnily enough, the distance that water irrigates is the same distance that these things actually work. So, yeah, it kind of actually fits. Plus, they actually work the level below, so it's okay to have them up here. I would have them like this, but, I mean, that kind of looks weird. Plus, yeah. So, no. And then I'll have to reactivate that. Also, want to intersperse these in amongst it. I think there's actually a pyro ritual that grows crops more quickly. I think. But even if there's not, I mean, again, lore tie-in. I'm not too sure about the spacing. I think, like, because we want carts to be able to go throughout. Carts and horses. I don't know. I'm not too sure about this. I'm just kind of experimenting with, like, the distances and stuff. I was also thinking about the area over here. I think it would be interesting and make sense to have another tower literally right here. Seems to make sense as the, like, farthest west point on the mountain that kind of juts out, this little shoulder here. And, like, with the way, with this groove, I guess, in the side here, I can't remember if I mentioned this already, but I want to have, like, a spring coming out of the mountain here, and then traveling down. Oh, I need to fix that hole. Oh, I thought I already did that. Okay. But, basically, traveling down, just a small amount of water, you know, and then entering the river there. So it can kind of, like, come straight down through here, next to all of this, across the stone here, and then it would go, like, right along the side of the tower that would be right there. And I think that would be interesting. You know, I've been thinking about the juices in this mod pack. They're great and all for saturation, or, well, for, thirst. I kind of feel like they restore way too much hunger. Because as it is, like, you can just live off of... I mean, we've been entirely subsisting off of peach juice from that tree, orange juice from that other tree, and then cherry juice from the tree up over there for basically the whole season here. And it's kind of... I think the main problem I'm having with it is that it just invalidates the need for food altogether. You know? Like, we can just drink juice, fruit juice, and it gives plenty of hunger and plenty of, lots of thirst. And we don't need to worry about either one at all from just the one thing. So it's kind of like, why do we have the thirst mod at all if we're just going to completely ignore the fact that it exists, you know? Like, I feel like the point of having two of them is to have two different needs and need to fulfill them in slightly different ways to make things more interesting. So, I'm not going to do it now, mainly because that's going to take forever, but I do want to, I think, eventually go through and bring the hunger from things like juices and teas. I think there are... well, there's not as many Pam's ones, but yeah. Things like this, I think, should not give nearly as much hunger. It should be mostly thirst saturation. But again, that's gonna take forever. So that's definitely going to help. Certainly with the mud there, and then the torches on top of that melting the snow. It's definitely going to make seeing the line of the river easier. Like, already that's improving it somewhat on this angle. And I mean, it's not the best, but it's certainly better than it was. I have to admit, another part of the reason that I haven't pulled all of this stone back yet is because it's kind of convenient being able to get up here from down there. I think... you know what, actually... it would kind of make sense if there was a way down right here. Another stairs just here to the level down there. Wouldn't it? Because the previous one is there. Yeah, I'd say that makes sense. Because certainly, like, if the livestock are down there, I think being able to access down there from here as well as back there makes sense, because if it's just back there, that's gonna be a pain in the neck. Regardless of that, though, I had another thought. I may not have had time to play much, or at all, really, the past few weeks, but that doesn't mean I haven't been thinking and planning and trying to work things out, at least a little bit. But this biome is kind of right here. I feel like it kind of makes sense that the people that live there would, you know, take advantage of the resources here. Plus, this stuff actually can grow. I'm going to... let's see. Because you can do... which is it? There. So I think, like... I feel like... I mean... one thing that I absolutely want to do is, like, these really sharp, harsh borders between biomes. I think we should make it more blended together, you know? But I think I want to kind of get some of this and grow some of this over there and kind of use it a bit. Oh, do the leaves despawn? Is this like an actual tree? Yes, it does. Interesting. Oh, it even drops, silkworm eggs. That's a little bit weird, but... okay. Can I break these with... oh. I'm using my pickaxe for no reason. Wait a minute, are they literally like leaves? Oh. I assume they would be a different material, but they're literally like trees. So my main question is, this stuff, can you plant it on sand? No. Can you plant it on dirt? Oh dear. Well, that was a thing that just happened. Oh wow. That was... Well, Oh, one of those rock things broke. That'd be why that dirt pillar's there. Right. Okay. So, you can in fact place them on dirt. So that suggests to me that this stuff actually is willing to grow on dirt. Is this... No. Can't craft anything out of it, or anything... You can't craft it, or craft it into anything. Oh, this literally can be wood. Just regular wood. Yeah, so this stuff is actually basically just wood, but it has this functionality. Torches. It does glow, which is also interesting. Interesting. I wonder if it's possible to silk touch this stuff. I think I used shears on it once. And it did I? I don't remember. And I feel like these people would probably actually use it. To be honest, like, considering how prolific the trees are in this biome, I mean, the trees and these bush shard crystal thingies, I'd say it's not unreasonable to say that it'll just grow outside of the biome, like on its own without any prompting. Maybe not, because it is a magical biome, so maybe it doesn't, like, wouldn't naturally occur outside of its own biome. But if it's the magical properties of the biome, I'd say then it definitely would be willing to grow here. Because of these peoples, because of their magic. Like this sort of stuff. Maybe it could be used to encourage this kind of stuff to grow here. Does the ground cover glow? No. Do the saplings glow? Blah. Yes, a little bit. I'm not sure if it really fits with the, well, the look and feel of stuff here. I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe not, like, super commonly used. Wow, I, like, just placed that and it already grew. I was kind of hoping that the, same sort of thing that makes the saplings do this would have altered these. It might have. We'll have to see. That might just be one that grew like that. Let's see if bone meal works. Yes, indeed. Well, that's interesting. The one that grew naturally is one of the white ones. But all three of these that I bone mealed ended up the dark ones. I wonder if that's an actual thing, or if it was just a coincidence. Let's take a look at some of the wood from this. I'm not sure it quite fits in with this area. Like, it doesn't quite fit with the sort of rustic feel of a lot of this area. It might work better indoors, though. I'm gonna leave this here to kind of see if it grows on me. Either way, I do kind of feel like if we can get some of those bushes somehow, Oh, you know what? Maybe the coagulated plant balls. Hold on a second. Let's see if this works. It's looking like not. Did we ever try bone mealing this? I can't remember. One thing I will say of the blue, the darker ones, is they definitely add a serious splash of color. Like that stands out fairly sharply. It's almost like the river. I don't know. There was another thought I had. Bewitchment. When I have grown the plants over there, and there are several of them over there, I think that is. Pretty sure that is. When I've tried to harvest them, they haven't given me anything. And, well, this is based off of the Witchery mod, which I have some experience with. And I seem to remember that these things are a particular tool for the mod that allows the harvest of certain things. So I'm wondering if that's the same for this mod. I did make up some silver. Unless I used it all. So we just need nether quartz, diamond, emerald, lapis. Let's see. Yes, indeed. I had forgotten to completely empty this place out. Oh, is it? Really? That's vaguely irritating, but okay. And while we're here, might as well take something like this. Oh, speaking of haven't actually cleared out the inventory, the dungeons that we looked at last episode, however long ago that was, yeah, I haven't brought that inventory up either. Just haven't had the time. And it's nightfall as soon as I want to go and... Oh. Yes. They work as shears. Right. Okay. So, if I do this... No. Is this one? I feel like that's not ready. Well, there's a couple of them we can try. That's not how you do it. Okay, how about this? Nope, not that either. Okay. Nope, I don't understand. It won't let me harvest them for some reason. I don't get it. Oh, by the way, I did plant some melons. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna grow anytime soon. On the right side, though, we now have a pair of shears, I guess. Sort of. At least we have the functionality of shears. But this right here is what I mean about the juices. I'm currently running out of thirst and hunger. And just like that, both of them are solved. And that's fairly significant amount of well-fed, plus the speed. It's just, I think it's too powerful. And it also just doesn't really fit the theme of this collection of mods, I guess. Now, I've been doing an awful lot of rambling this episode. I swear I had a plan for what I wanted to actually do, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Oh, that's what right-clicking does. It tells you what biome you're in. That's nifty. You know, I've done quite a bit of manipulation of recipes so far. These sorts of things are honestly probably the sort of things I should also modify. Like, because these require just Minecraft cobblestone, and that's been tough to get, like, that's kind of it. That's maybe something I should fix. One thing I also want to see if I can fix is getting this ritual to be able to work on like this. Did I already look into that? I might have already looked into that. Don't remember. But if that's possible to change, that's definitely something I feel like I should. But I'll tell you what, before we end this episode, which has been a whole lot of walking and talking again, and I keep not meaning to do that, one thing I had a thought of is basically I keep meaning to decorate the interior of some of these houses and then not doing it. I keep saying, next episode we should do the interior of the houses. And then not. But I think, first of all, I want to try this. If that doesn't work, some of this. Oh. Right. Well, that could maybe work as like an interspersing a little bit in amongst the other one. But the thought I had was that, well, this stuff can work. Oh, I wonder. The simple difficulty mod lets you add blocks as a heat source. I wonder if I can add these, but this is what I mean. Like we should add this mod as interior decoration. I feel like this should be like in a sort of convenient like nook somewhere where you can use it. Maybe some and we're gonna freeze to death again. Come on. I don't think we have access to the wildwood yet. Ritual of wildwood growth. Are we there yet? I mean, that would definitely be something that would be a feature of the interior of these houses, wouldn't it? What? What? Okay, well, that's interesting. I don't... Okay. Sure. Why not? Just... Why not? Oh, does that mean everything else is locked out too? Okay, I don't know how that happened, but sure. Well, that definitely means that none of this stuff is going to happen anytime soon, because why? What happened? I don't understand. I'm definitely logged in as me. You can see my skin right there. So, why? And, like, hold on, does that mean I can't use this? No, it'll still let me use that, so... I don't know. I guess I'll have to work my way back through stuff again. For reasons. Did I mention that I had increased the uses on the canteen? I can't remember if I did, but if I didn't, I increased the uses on the canteen. 3 just seemed kind of not all that useful, to be honest. Alright, so how is that looking? Not too sure about the brown. I don't know, it kind of makes sense. A little bit. Actually, there's supposed to be a bed there. Someday, eventually, maybe. It's kind of busy on the eyes. But I don't know, I think you could get used to it. And we could always, like, when in doubt, leaves. I mean, that's kind of hard to argue with, to be honest. And because of just the nature of the magic in this area, I think it could potentially make sense. Oh, you know what would be even better? Some kind of pot that's growing out of. Hold on. Could use one of these. Just real quick, here's a question. Does this look better than the green? It's definitely less busy. Well, not less busy, it's just that the green stands out very sharply. This doesn't stand out nearly as much. But I do feel like the green is a little bit more on theme. Oh, how do you make the things? Let's see, we have that for, like, washing up water, but what about right there for a plant? And then, or does that look better? I mean, neither of them really look terrible. I'd say they both could work. What about... no. Is that maybe overdoing it a bit? Maybe a little bit. It'd be nice to get a different green in here. Did I happen to... could do raspberry leaves? That could be interesting. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure that those are leaves that you can plant like that. But, you know what? Let's find out. Where were they? Oh, we could also use some vines. Let's see. Let's try these out first. Real quick. Oh, it'll totally let you do that. That is very green. Very, very green. That might be a little too green. No, want to use more green leaves. No, that's too green. Those are an interesting green. Although those are desert trees. Let's see here. Let's try some of this. Maybe, you know what, let's just kind of try a little bit of everything. That pink is going to be too much, isn't it? I do like that one. A little smidgen of white in there. I mean, to be honest, they all three kind of work. Is there anywhere we miss putting leaves that we can? Don't think so. Not really. And then, of course, there's these. Yeah. No. Wish we could put things under the table. I mean, obviously this would be filled with these things, but I don't have a whole lot of them. One thing I do kind of want to do is fill that with clean water. There we go. All clean water. Does that make any difference? At all? For any reason? No. Do I care? No. I mean, of course, there's the old standby of the actual flower pot, which, you know, can you put, whoops. No. I don't think so. Let's find an interesting flower. I don't actually know if stuff like this will actually work in there. Of course, it doesn't actually help that I don't know what of those are too tall and what's not. You know, that doesn't look terrible. What about this? That's a too tall. It's kind of interesting. This is going to grow like... Actually, no, it's not going to grow all the way down because this is a block. So it'll grow to here, this level. Do I have a problem with that? Kind of feel like it would be better up against the wall. Like that. Yeah, I don't hate it. I do feel like that raspberry bush green is just a smidge too green. Also, that's the only of this stuff that I've got. I want to see if I can propagate it. Let's plant some over here and see if it'll grow upward. I think some of these sorts of modded bushes do that. I don't know how many of them do, though. Oh, should use some of those. Except I don't currently have the ability. Potentially. Oh, it'll still let me craft it. Actually, is that the same color as... Well, not quite. Although that doesn't look terrible. I'm not too happy about the Z fighting, though. About right there. Because, like, I think this would definitely be something that'd be in every household. Just because it totally makes sense to have that sort of thing. This, I think, makes sense. Probably. I'm not too sure about that, though. Maybe these would be in, like many of them in a building. Actually, yeah. Because I just remembered, these things, they don't have, they have to have the grove stones to power them. So maybe these wouldn't be just in the homes. Maybe these would be in designated places. Oh. Did those change color? I just went to bed and... Oh, we just went into October. Oh, things are really gonna get cold now. And the desert is still too warm to be comfortable. Even on October. You know, I don't actually hate that. Being there. I wonder, maybe we can use them in, like, other sorts of locations. Like, not just down in the farm area. But if they are, like, well, used like that, kind of as markers, because that's a very obvious marker. It occurs to me, though, that idea of these being in designated locations, surely that would qualify as an outdoor, like, industry type thing, right? And they're called Fey Crafters. And those are called grove stones. So maybe this area here can be, like, really heavily overgrown with trees. Though that doesn't really make sense for a charcoal burning area. Then again, we do have this. And they do make torches. So maybe these people don't use charcoal? What else is charcoal used for? Torches, the bloomery, and that has to have charcoal. It also makes ash, which is useful for various things. But I suppose charcoal burning doesn't have to be like a huge industry. Like it was a very large industry in like medieval times, but they were doing a lot of steel manufacture, and they needed it for that. these people don't really use a whole lot of steel. Like, there's that, but I guess it uses regular shears there, but still, this mod doesn't use a huge amount of steel or iron, whatever. But either one. But that would mean that we wouldn't need such a large area as this for, you know, charcoal burning and then metalworking. Could have like a bloomery, maybe even up there rather than down here, and then this be like a grove. That would make this business make a little bit more sense, even, because it's not just protection from like sightlines from dragon attacks and such. It's also like if we have a fence of some kind here, like maybe trees, big trees, it would protect this area against the wind, which is like if you're using fairly delicate stuff like that, I would expect, like lore-wise at least, that because this thing you use and it's like it goes on there like that, kind of makes sense that lore-wise, if there's a heavy wind, that stuff would just blow off, and it'd be next to impossible to use these things. So maybe that's part of the lore of this area. You can only do this sort of crafting in like sheltered areas. So that could be interesting, at least. I actually kind of want to wait to pull the rest of this earth back until it's snowing, because the snow prevents these things from growing and spreading. Like, if I pull it all back and there's all these pockets of not snow, it's just all gonna grow back again. It's just everywhere. I'm fairly sure I've checked already, but I'm gonna have to double check to see if I can do something about the spread rate for these things, because it's just like, it just completely takes over everything. Look at that. I've cleared that area several times. The only reason this isn't spreading is because of the snow. It's just crazy, man. You know what? Let's just do a bit of this. That's all stone. But let's see if any of this grows, and maybe it'll give us some idea of what it might look like if we had it, you know, as an actual grove. Because I feel like, I don't know, it might be cool, and it might be just a little out of place, maybe, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I do like the colors. Those are some really nice colors. Those leaves are interesting. That's a lemon tree. Yeah, I definitely want to start using the mud bricks. I don't know, like, this doesn't quite work quite the same way as, like, the smooth stone and cobblestone do. Like, as a texture variation, like, that's a very sharp line that it doesn't really, like, yeah, that's a sharp line too, but I don't know, it fits a little bit better, I feel. Maybe because this is a very structured texture. I don't know, but I do want to use these in some stuff some more. Well, now that it's started raining, I suppose that's probably a good time to end it. For some reason, people don't like the rain. I don't understand it. But, to be honest, we haven't really done a whole lot this episode. Not really. To be honest, again, an awful lot of what happened was done off camera. But, you know, real life stuff getting in the way and such. But I am going to be having a bit more time to be able to get stuff done in this series. So hopefully in the next few episodes we'll be able to make some real actual progress on, like, actually doing stuff. Between episodes I am going to, I guess, re-go through the mod. I don't know what happened, that the book is messed up. I'm fairly sure it's not because I died at any point. Like, I've died and it hasn't reset, I'm fairly sure, so I don't know what's going on there. But I will get back to having more of the book unlocked. I suppose we did a bit of decorating in here, but I mean, we literally threw plants at the walls and put some, whoops, bits around somewhat haphazardly. I mean, it's not like it looks bad or anything, it's just that we didn't really do all that much, to be honest. Oh, we've already gotten some of the trees growing, so that's definitely nice. Also, between episodes, I think what I'm going to do is actually bring this land down all the way. Like, actually start removing bedrock here. That way we'll get to properly see what this is all going to look like. Or at least, you know, the structure of things, the bones, I guess you could say, before we start, like, putting in the actual, what's going to actually be here. And it is very cold. But yeah, to be honest, I should probably not be out in the middle of a snowstorm, but whatever. But anyway, that is gonna do it. I'm going to keep working as and when I can, dodging between the freezing over here and the burning up in the desert, and then grappling with, like, having stuff to do in real life, which does make things a little awkward, I guess. At any rate, hopefully, at the very least, I've given someone out there some inspiration, food for thought, something to consider when building your own stuff. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. Farewell.